Today I am freeze drying some of our eggs. So if you'd like to see how I do that, stick around. And if you're new here, my name is Heather. I live in South Carolina on our property with my family, and we just like to do what we can for ourselves when we can, from freeze drying eggs to, I don't know, starting seeds. If you're interested in keeping up with what we have going on around here, consider subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything and it helps us out. All right, let's get these eggs freeze dried. Okay, the first step is to crack the eggs and get them scrambled up. I've already done some. I got 2 trays in there already, and I'll show you how I'll do the next one. Okay, 2 dozen. I did 2 dozen in each of my trays. I have a medium size freeze dryer, and that works for me. I like to scramble them kind of halfway through. Makes it a little bit easier not having so many in the bowl. You wouldn't have to do 2 dozen if you didn't have 2 dozen. You can put whatever you want to in your trays, if you just have some that you're not going to eat. And my main goal with this part of it is just to make sure the yolks are broken. I don't know if you can freeze dry them whole. You might could. This is just the way that I do it, and it makes sense to me that if those yolks are not broken, I might have a hard time getting them freeze dried all the way. So that's how I do them. And I'm just going to use these how I would use a raw egg, like in baking. I would scramble these and eat them as well if we were out of eggs. But yeah, just in cooking, the only thing you wouldn't be able to use them for a boiled egg. Anything a boiled egg would be used for. But other than that, they're very handy to have for when your chickens are being slack. Or you don't have to have chickens. Say you find a really good deal on eggs. And you say, well, I'm going to freeze dry these so when eggs are like they are in my area right now, super, super high. I think they were $12 for 1.5 dozen the other day when I looked. Just out of curiosity, I looked. Okay, so we're going to take these to the freezer and pour them in the pans. I separate mine with these pizza savers. Okay, so I'm just going to get the last of these eggs scrambled up and into the freezer. And once they are frozen, I will bring y'all out to the freeze dryer and we'll load it up and get these freeze dried. So our eggs are all the way frozen. This is later, really, it's at nighttime after I put them in the freezer that day. Okay, so I'm just going to put these in the freeze dryer and put them on. Okay, and we will come back later. Okay, we're back at the freeze dryer with the eggs, and my freeze dryer says it's been almost 59 hours. I set mine with 24 hours of extra dry time, so it's went through the regular cycle plus that. So anyway. And this is what they look like. I'll just feel to see if there's any cold spots, and there's no cold spots on these. They've dried. I'm sure they dried for plenty enough time. And seeing your little things just pull right out of there. No big deal. I'm only gonna leave those in while I work with these. Now I'm just putting them in the Mylar bags. I've already marked my bags with the month and the year, and I just like to kind of crunch them up a little bit before I put them in there. I add 1 oxygen absorber and seal it with my impact sealer. It's a little bit out of the frame. I'm not going to move the camera for that. If you have a freeze dryer, you know what that is. Familiar with that. So that's our first bag. I will put 1 tray per bag. That's 2 dozen eggs. So anyway, that's it. That's freeze-dried eggs. That's how I do it. I hope this helps you. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Alrighty, we'll see y'all next time.